Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Who is RuffGod Part 3? Mixed in with the boss set. Nice part of my life, so we can get this one started. Definitely liking it, man. This is where it gets fun, pretty much. So who is RuffGod? Been letting you know for years now, but for the third part, this will definitely show, you know, where I'm at and the improvement I done made since them other ones. But me, I'm spiritual. I'm a very spiritual guy. And I think I came across spirituality more over the years because to me it just teaches you about yourself in a way and what you can become. That being said, when it comes to religion, I would claim myself as a Christian, but I would say I'm more spiritual, and I, you know, learn spirituality more because I feel like as a Christian, it's more about learning from others, which is cool. That can work just as much. But when it comes to learning about yourself and all the things you could become, you know, that's what's been helping me for a long time now. But from part 2 to the very first one, I could definitely see my improvements. So these videos I love making, so I'm making another one. Who is RuffGod though? Considering myself a light worker. If you don't know what that is, it's a nice category for people to describe themselves as. Some may go by indigo, starseed, a lot of that. From them two things so far, it's helping me because, like I said, with spirituality, it'll definitely like help you upgrade your life. Understanding light working is like, you know, knowing thyself. And to explain that a little more, light work is pretty much the opposite of a hard worker. The reason I like it is because, to me, you do much less but accomplish much more. And that goes with a nice spiritual law, the law of least effort. Who is RuffGod? I'm a creator. To be creating my reality is one of the reasons why I'm here. For me now, it's really understanding my intuition, really being guided by how I feel and doing what's best for me when it comes to that. It's a quote I'm gonna put up. Pretty much letting us know that like this is a whole nother way of living. me now, hopping in the 30s club, seeing the new desires, to be on that way of living now is gonna help so much when it comes to, peace and happiness. Knowing that how I think, how I feel, and how I act is pretty much what's helping me create. Knowing that I came a long way, may look at it like a spiritual journey or just from age. Up in the 30s club now, and before I got started, on reading books, watching videos, I definitely saw the negativity in myself. Those days when I was stressing, those days when I had anxiety, even fear. But now it's more the opposite, much more positive. The type of faith I got in myself is, like that. The mental space, the inner peace I have now is just all from improving, working on myself. But when it comes to lifestyle, it's about doing things a certain way to where you're not being hard on yourself. Of course, when it comes to making money, which is a big thing for understanding light work, it goes with, not putting in most of your energy for a certain amount of money. It's almost the opposite. It's like you're doing less but achieving more. The boss said though, it's something for all of us, cause I know me personally, I wanted to be a boss, and I was ready to be a boss. Seeing that from my first video, it was like, all right, well, let's put the work in, For me, I've been doing what I can, so to have this type of mentality now, straight. I definitely started on some mentality, like focusing on the mind. And that's definitely needed when it comes to improving and having the necessary action you need to bring in your desires or create the reality you want to create. Like I said, it's been a fun journey, so this part, to me, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but from the growth I done had, I know I'm capable of doing it. Doing my thing, like, from the other parts, it's really been showing improvement, If you go by feeling your best, like, that's your number one priority, is feeling my best. And you moving a little different. Me personally, probably like a year ago, I realized that if I share my joy, then I'm definitely not going for like viral type of ways or like just putting myself out there on some clout type of chasing. This is probably the best way for me to really share myself, be out there, because it helps with my joy in a way.
When someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god. I just told you.
Who is RuffGod? I would consider myself an entertainer just as much as an educator. these past years, the entertainment has been pretty new in a way, if you want to put it like that. You got the 2020s, and I just, went along. Educating, nice new book, The Inner Hustle. Man, 2020 live though. You getting that? So from there, I kind of want to look at it from a understanding, emotion and motion, and why we should really keep our attention like on emotion very high though, because when being guided by your feelings, that should let you know like how different it could be for your lifestyle. Knowing peace and happiness is attainable, but getting to these newer things, it's probably gonna take, another way of looking at things, or this type of effort. So having that focus is gonna get you to that level. Looking at it from the boss set, knowing my focus is much more on the boss level way of living. So understanding that life ain't hard, and trying to get to that top level shouldn't be like it's going to be harder. If anything, it should feel like you're making it easier for yourself. When it comes to creating my life, creating my reality, that's one of the main things, to have that freedom to do what you want, to create a certain way of living for yourself. From this year, 2025 though, the type of motion I've been in is really like, let me know that when it comes to thinking, feeling, and action, I've been seeing like myself just doing what's needed for all the stuff I want to achieve in life.